Okay, girls, as we did yesterday, we introduced the new theme, Naturally Amazing. Today, we're going to start our new selection, the bee hummingbird. I shared with you a video about the bee hummingbird on our platform. Please watch it. It's very important to know more and more information about this kind of bird. First of all, we're going to explain the vocabulary words needed for these two pages that we're going to read. Today, we're going to read only 265 and 266. But first of all, we will explain the vocabulary words related to these pages. Then we will start reading, okay? Now, this is the first vocabulary word. You can recognize the cardinal by its red feathers. As you see this bird in the illustration, it's called cardinal. We can recognize it from all other birds by its red feathers. Who can guess the meaning of the word recognize? As usual, girls, those who I will choose them to answer, they will answer. Others can answer in the chat box because I refer to the chat box to get the grade of participation. Okay? Sarah, can you guess the meaning of recognize?
Realize,
What?
realize,
Realize, yes, bravo, realize or identify or detect. For example, I'll give you another example. When we were in the class, even if I'm turning my face to the board, I can recognize the sound of Sarah from all the other sounds in the class. I can recognize the sound of you, each one of you, even if I'm turning my face to the board. So recognize is to realize, to detect, to identify. It's a verb, okay? Recognize is a verb which means detect, realize, identify. All these are correct meanings for the word recognize. The second word, okay. First, he approached the curtain, then he looked inside. This boy you see in the figure was far away from the curtain. Okay? Then, first of all, he approached the curtain. Look at this boy over here. This is the curtain. He was standing far away from the curtain. He approached the curtain, then he looked inside. Tala, can you guess the meaning of approach?
Ditch or walk.
To walk toward something or to come
Yeah, toward
closer to
something.
something, okay? Like for
Yes.
example, if we are in the class and you are standing back beside the window and I
Mm.
ask you to come to the board, you
So I
will
approach you.
approach the board. Approach means to come closer or to come near or to move forward, to move towards something. It's also a verb, girls. So, again, recognize is a verb which means realize or detect. Approach is also a verb which means to come closer, come near, or move towards something. Okay? Now, let's move to the third vocabulary word. Okay. The third one, okay. This eagle defends its territory by looking scary. As you know, each animal has its own territory, which it defends it against anyone wants to attack or wants to approach or wants to come closer to its territory. Who can guess the meaning of the word territory? Let me see. Yasmina, can you tell us the meaning of the word territory?
Yes, it means land.
The land or the area where an animal or or a person lives.
Yeah.
So it's a noun or a verb, Yasmina?
It's a noun.
Amazing. Thanks a lot, dear. So, territory, as Yasmina told us, it's a noun which means area or region or land where an animal or a person lives. These are the three vocabulary words, girls, for today that are related to the pages we are going to read. Now I want you to get your reading book, pages 265, 266. Okay, girls, now we're going to read our reading book, pages 265, 266. This is our new selection, the bee hummingbird. This is the animal that we're going to talk about, and we will discover how it is amazing or in which way it is amazing. Noor Hijazi, can you start reading?
Yes, of course.
Start, dear.
The bee hummingbird. This is the bee hummingbird. It is the tiniest bird in the world. How tiny is it? With its wings wide open, it would fit perfectly inside a chicken egg, and with their wings closed, two adults would fit perfectly in that same egg.
Thank you, Noor. So, as Noor told us, this kind of bird is the smallest bird in the world. The tiniest means it's the smallest one in the world. Its size, while its wings are wide open, it fits inside a chicken egg. Imagine with me, girls, the chicken egg. This bird, because it's so small, it's the tiniest bird in the world. With its wings wide open, it fit inside a chicken egg. If its wings are closed, two hummingbirds can fit inside the chicken egg. You see how small is it, girls? This is the first way that it's amazing from other birds. It's the tiniest bird in the world. Okay? Now, Sila, can you continue reading? Sila,
Yes, teacher.
continue the second paragraph, dear.
Okay. These little birds are so small that when they fly, they are sometimes mistaken for bumblebees. But if you look very closely, they are easy to recognize by their short, chubby bodies and their long, slender beaks.
Thank you, Sila. So,
Welcome.
girls, they are so small. They are the tiniest birds to the point that when it flies, people mistake it and they think that it's not a bird, it's just a bumblebee. But when you look closer or when you look carefully at it, you're going to recognize it from its short, chubby body. Chubby means that full. It's fat, not thin, and their long, slender beaks. As you notice in the following figure, they have a long, slender beaks. If you still remember, yesterday we said that in pollination, insects and birds help to do this process. The birds that help in the process of pollination are these birds that we're talking about. They are the bee hummingbirds. With their long, slender beaks, they can get the nectar from the flowers, and with their wings that are beating against the wind, they can cause the pollen to move from one flower to another. So they have a role in pollination. Okay, girls. So we mentioned till now that they are the tiniest birds in the world. With their wings wide open, they can fit inside a chicken egg. But if their wings are closed, two hummingbirds can fit inside the chicken egg. When they fly, people mistake mistake them and they think that they are bumblebees, but we can recognize them from bumblebees by their short, choppy bodies and their long, slender beaks. Now let's continue reading to discover more and more about the bee hummingbirds. Ratil, can you read the last paragraph, dear?
Yes. The bee hummingbird is about 2/4 inches, 6 centimeters long from the tip of its beak to the end of its tail, and weighs less than 1/10 of an ounce, 2 grams. Its nest is smaller than half a ping pong ball.
Okay, now here Ratir read to us more characteristics about the bee hummingbird that show how small they are. Their body is about only 6 centimeter, okay, and they weigh less than 2 grams. The nest they do to lay their eggs is the size is in size smaller than half a ping pong ball. You see how the ping pong ball is small? The nest is smaller than its half. Okay? So let's review the information we read till now. First of all, we mentioned that the bee hummingbirds are the tiniest birds in the world. With their wings wide open, the one hummingbird can fit inside a chicken egg. But if the wings are closed, two hummingbirds can fit inside the chicken egg. When they fly, because they are so small, when they fly, people mistake them and think that they are bumblebees, but they are easily recognized from bumblebees because of their short, choppy bodies and their long, slender beaks, as we see in the following figure. They are about 6 centimeter and they weigh less than 2 grams. Their nest is smaller than half a ping pong ball. Okay? Before we continue reading the second page, girls, I want to ask you about the genre of this selection. Do you think it's narrative selection or informational one? Yes, yes, Mina, can you tell us?
What is the no,
Okay,
it's
I'm asking
informational.
informational. Amazing. Can you explain why?
It's informational because it talks about the bee hummingbird, its traits, and how it hunts.
Uh-huh. So the author is telling us information or facts about the bee hummingbird. That's why the genre of this selection is informational text. Okay,
Yes.
now let's continue. Thank you, Yasmina. Let's continue reading 266 to see or to discover more and more about these birds. Let me see who's going to read. Fatima, can you read the first paragraph?
Yes.
Okay, dear, start.
Males are blue with glittering green highlights. Their breasts are white and their heads are incredibly bright pink. The females are larger and their feathers are very pretty, greenish blue. They look very elegant in
Okay, thank you, Fatima. Now, here the paragraph that Fatima read to us is differentiation between the male and the female bee hummingbird. I want you to look well, girls, at the illustration on this page. This one over here, the one below, okay, the one below is the male one. Okay, let me point for it so you can see it clearly. The one I'm pointing to it right now is the male. As you see, it's blue with the glittering green highlights. Okay, the breast here, this part is white, and the head is an incredibly bright pink. Okay, so this is the male bee hummingbird. Male bee hummingbird. I will repeat its characteristics. It's a blue with the glittering green highlights. The breast is white and the head is an incredibly bright pink. On the other hand, the female, which is the upper one, is larger in size, not too much, but larger a little bit in size. The feathers are very pretty, greenish blue. Greenish blue means it's a mix between green and the blue, and they look very elegant. So again, girls, the male is blue with the glittering green highlights. The breast is white and the head is an incredibly bright pink, while the female is larger in size. Its feathers are a very pretty greenish blue and they look very elegant. These are the differences between the male and the female bee hummingbirds. Okay, let's continue to discover more about them. Layal Yusuf, can you could read the second paragraph, dear?
Yes, teacher.
Start.
In spite of their tiny size, no one would dare say that these birds are not brave. If some curious creature approaches their territory, they quickly take off and do acrobatics in the air to let the intruder know not to keep going in that direction. A kind-hearted visitor surely will take a new path to avoid bothering them
Further.
further.
Okay, thanks a lot, Leia. So, girls, when we discover that they are the tiniest birds, we will think that they are not able to defend themselves, but actually, they are so brave. Okay, when they notice that there is a creature approaching their territory, they quickly fly, take off, and start doing acrobatics. Acrobatics يعني movement, skillful and difficult moves in the air to defend their territory. Like this, they are giving a sign for any creature is trying to approach their territory to stay away from their area or their region. So even if they are so small in size, but they can defend their territory by doing acrobatics in the air to let the creature who's trying to approach move away from their place. Okay? Now, Jury, continue reading the third paragraph.
Yes. Bee
Start, dear.
hummingbird. Yes.
Start, dear.
Bee hummingbird are loners. They fly, eat, and sleep without company. But for a few seconds they do join their mates in the air where they want to start a family. Then the female builds a nest in a safe place higher than, a, than the head of any human being.
Okay, thanks a lot, dear. So,
Welcome.
usually the bee hummingbirds are loners. When they want to fly, when they want to eat, when they want to sleep, they do this alone by themselves. They do this alone by themselves. But when they need to make a family, they mate the males and the females build their nest in a safe place that is higher than the head of any human being. So it's going to be safe and not being under threat from any human being. Okay, this is when they need to mate or when they need to make a family, they start building their nests. Now we are going to read the last paragraph that explains how they build their nest. Let us now move to Hala. Hala, can you read the last paragraph, dear?
Yes, teacher.
Start.
She builds her nest with bits of dried plants and then she lines it with soft materials. In this comfortable home, she warms her two tiny white eggs until her babies crack their shells and show their featherless heads. The mother protects her young and feeds them until they can fly.
Okay, you see, girls, that the females are doing most of the work. They are the ones that build the nests. They build it with the bits of dried plants, but in the middle, they line it with soft materials to be comfortable for the eggs when they are hatching. When they are hatching, they are featherless, yani they don't have feathers on their heads. The mother bee hummingbird protects her young and feeds them until they can fly. These are the characteristics about the hummingbirds that we need to read them till now. But before, I want to show you a video about the female, how it's building its nest. Okay, I need you to be careful for this video to see how the female hummingbirds build their nests. Let's watch the video, then we will talk about it.
A female Anna's hummingbird plays the roles of surveyor, architect, and builder. She begins her nest with a platform of soft, fluffy fibers plucked from nearby plants. She's chosen a small tree branch that offers a bit of scaffolding to anchor her construction. Working in a circle, she uses her own small frame to shape the cup. Now she needs a special thread to tie it all together. It's made by another skillful architect. And fortunately, she can find it almost anywhere. Spider silk. As the nest
You see, girls, how this female bee hummingbird is building its nest. As you notice, first of all, it chooses a very high, small branch that is higher than the head of any human being. It uses soft material in the middle of the nest to be comfortable for its eggs when they are hatching. Then it used dried plants to surround this soft material. Okay, is that clear, girls, how they build their nests, how the female bee hummingbirds build their nests? So,
Yes.
okay.
Yes.
Okay, girls. Till
Yes.
now, these are the information that we want to read about the bee hummingbirds. Inshallah, this video and another video that shows the female while she's sitting on its nest, I will put it for you on the platform and on the library so you can watch them later
Okay.
on. Our session for today is over, girls.